My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Welcome, and good morning. This is Joe Knows South Lake. I am Joe Carlisle, and I want to welcome you to the South Lake TV studio. Today on our show, we're going to have Sherry Watts with the Mineola Charter School. Really looking forward to talking to her. We're going to talk a little bit about getting on with life, and we're going to talk about the Dorian apocalypse that never happened. So we are going to talk about the downgraded Dorian. So please stay tuned. Quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Claremont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as Local Pro Wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including Austin Avalon, Ali Mohammed, Jake Shadows, the British chap D-Wayne, Danny Malo, Josh Dawkins, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. Matches already announced: the Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support Local Pro Wrestling live.
And welcome back. It's good to hear from our sponsors. You know, I really appreciate them. Without them, none of this happens. So thank you for being a sponsor. So, is everybody tired of the storm? I know I am. How about you, Jay? Are you tired?
I'm exhausted, Joe.
You know, it's all kidding aside, it is tiring to go through the stress, to do the preparations. I've talked to so many people today that said they got snacks, they went out of their way to do it, and the kids or them ate the snacks before the storm ever hit. So, you know, that whole concept of getting ready for the storm, you'd have been stuck if the storm had actually happened.
Yeah, I was really kind of held back from eating the snacks, but I somehow managed to find a way to get into them before the storm hit, yeah. Which it never hit, so I just kept eating snacks.
There you go.
So, yeah, there's a downfall to the storm.
You're young enough that you can afford a snack or two. Me, the wife, has the total kibosh. We didn't even buy the quote-unquote snacks. Right. She figured if we had to go hungry for a couple of days, it wouldn't hurt either of us.
Oh, no, we went over and above with the snacks at our house.
Did you?
We were more than prepared for some snack time. So, anyways.
Yeah, my wife's fur baby, though, ended up with like this Mondo container of Jif, because she gives him a pill once a day. But here's the thing, man, this peanut butter is not very good. I like my cheap Walmart brand. Mm-hmm. It's much, much better, but that's a subject for another day.
A different day.
A different day. So the storm has been downgraded, and I mean, realistically, it tracked another 20 miles off the coast. Right now, I believe it's 110 miles off the coast of Florida. The coast is still getting some tropical storm force winds, but not sustained. The gusts on the outside of it. I'm sitting here looking out our studio window, and it's blowing those trees pretty hard. So we got some. So even though the storm has been downgraded, we didn't get hit really bad. Be wise, I mean, you're going to be driving in rain, so don't be stupid. And please keep your thoughts and prayers. These pictures are starting to come in from the Bahamas, and the devastation is. I'm glad that we didn't get hit, but unfortunately, they paid the cost for our blessings. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And the good news is, it looks like this may not actually even hit landfall. The whole coast, they're going to deal with some rain. They might deal with some flooding all the way up to North and South Carolina, but they're not actually going to get a storm hit and make landfall. The last I saw, it looks like the closest it's going to come to landfall is up around Cape Cod. So by then, hopefully, the energy will have been spent. So how do we get on with life? I got a little minor traffic ticket about a month ago, and I was supposed to pay the traffic ticket, but they shut down the courthouse. Now I'm nervous because, as usual, I waited till the very end and then realized, oh goodness, I'm supposed to pay this thing, and getting on with life. We've all put some things probably we should have taken care of on the back burner. Well, now, today, if you're not working, if you don't have to work, if you're one of those people who got blessed to be closed until tomorrow, use this afternoon to kind of ramp up your life. And that's what I'm doing. This afternoon, I'm going to make a list, and I'm going to get, obviously, I can't get a whole week's worth of stuff done, but I'll be able to catch up on everything. And I've been up on my real estate deals. I'm going back and forth with some lenders. I know a lot of us work from home. So if you work from home, you might want to consider working today. At any rate, let's see. Oh, and Cup of Joe. This brings me to the Cup of Joe. It's so easy to think that because we had the day off, because we could ramp down our lives, that everybody was like that. And I've just seen an awful lot of really tired people. Some of the people that go the most thankless are your Walmart, your grocery store workers. I mean, let's talk about cops and fire. They've been day on, stay on, and I appreciate the news people, but they get paid what they get paid for a reason, so that they're doing 18-hour days, and I empathize with them, but the guys that I really empathize with is your average beat cop who's done extra patrols, who's working the shelters, who's, the people who have opened shelters just in case and given up their days off and their time off. So I'd just like to ask you today, once again, the theme is, think about the other guy a little bit. If you go to the store and your cashier isn't cashing you out quite as quickly, take a thought that maybe they weren't in a place that they could take 3 days off, and maybe they've been working a whole lot harder to keep up with the crazy people in the stores. And that's your Cup of Joe for today. Anyways, we're going to hear from the sponsors again. We've got Local Pro Wrestling. We've got Mary Rhodes at the mortgage firm. We got Erica's Tea Room. I really appreciate all this, folks. We're going to hear a message from them, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clearmont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as Local Pro Wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including Austin Avalon, Ali Mohammed, Jake Shadows, the British chap D-Wayne, Danny Malo, Josh Dawkins, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. Matches already announced: The Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support local pro wrestling live.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clearmont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as Local Pro Wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including Austin Avalon, Ali Mohammed, Jake Shadows, the British chap D-Wayne, Danny Malo, Josh Dawkins, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. Matches already announced: the Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support local pro wrestling live.
Welcome back. Once again, we want to say thank you to our sponsors. And I appreciate all of our sponsors. I really, really do. But I really, really appreciate Mary Rhodes, who's believed in me for years. This is a dream come true for me doing this show. And I just want to say thank you so much. If you need a mortgage, reach out to Mary Rhodes at the mortgage firm. She will take care of you, and she can handle all your needs. At any rate, so we have today, I'd like to welcome Sherry Watts.
Hello.
From the Mineola Charter School.
Yes.
How are you today?
Doing well.
Good.
Doing well.
You're surviving the storm, I can see.
Yes, ate our hurricane snacks early, yes.
You did not come in totally drenched, so,
No.
looking. And now, you're in red, and I did notice in some of your pictures that you guys are all in. Is that the school color red?
Red, black, and white.
Red,
yes.
black, and
yes.
white. All right, so you've covered all the bases in this particular outfit. Oh, great.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I met Sherry at the grand opening of their new 7th and 8th grade wing.
Yes.
Of their new 7th and 8th grade wing. It was really kind of cool. I met a lot of her cool teachers, some of her staff, some of the kids even that I got to meet. But Sherry really kind of clicked with me because of what she's doing there. I was really fascinated with how they funded this. So we're going to talk about this in a minute, but we want to get some basics out of the way. Okay. First, Sherry, how did you get to be the principal there? I mean, is it something did they come find you? Did you find them?
I started around 2005 as the assistant principal at Mineola Charter School. And then when the principal, Miss Reeves, retired, I became the principal 7 years ago. This is my 7th year there. So I've spent many years at Mineola Charter School.
Now, how old is Mineola Charter School?
Mineola, the school itself, has been in the community for 55 years. It became a charter school in 2002.
So there was a transition there.
Yes.
Was there a specific reason for that transition?
It transitioned approximately 2002, and it was basically a move it had to be done by a vote by the faculty and staff and the parents. They voted to convert to a charter school and move away from the district, if you will. So it was a choice that the parents and the faculty and the staff at that time made to move away and become independent.
I kind of like that. It was really you know, a lot of times we hear a lot of news about the disagreement or the discord between parents and teachers. And my wife is a teacher, so I know that many times that's just a perception. It's not reality.
Right.
Can you tell us, give us a little bit of basic, what makes a charter school a charter school? What's the difference between a charter school and a regular public school?
A charter school is a public school. We have our own governing board. I answer to a charter board that is made up of 5 members. So I have board meetings with them, much like the superintendent does with the Lake County School Board. Our charter board can set policy and procedure. And so instead of part of our FTE dollars, you know, each student...
Explain for those people who don't know, what are FTE dollars?
Full-time equivalency monies that comes from the state. So each student earns X amount of dollars.
Right.
And if a student has, for example, an individual education plan or is an exceptional student, then there is different funding that comes with that. But basically each student draws in money from the state. We keep the money. So our students generate money, and those monies come back to our school for us to utilize to support the students that we serve in our school directly.
As opposed to going to
the district and then it's disseminated out.
Disseminate it. Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, so are there any other differences? That's obviously a governing difference. You know, obviously you can choose where the money is spent for your school.
Right.
Are there any other differences?
We have the freedom to set different policies and procedures. Of course, our students have to be certified. We have to follow state assessments, that we have to do state assessments, those types of things. But it gives us a little freedom to make decisions differently. For example, we recently did a science adoption across the state, and our teachers opted to go with a different science curriculum than what Lake County Schools chose to go with. So we have a little more freedom to decide what kind of curriculum we're going to utilize, how we're going to disseminate that. And it just, you know, I have my teachers give me a lot of input about what kind of curriculum tools they would like to have in their classroom and needs. And I try to meet those needs. So it makes it more independent for the teacher. I'm hiring them to teach. They're the professionals. I want them to do what I've hired them to do, but they need to have a voice in that as well. So it gives us a little freedom to do things differently. Our students, if they want to come to our school, they have to apply to come to our school. So we have an application process. Now, the students that are currently in our school, they simply will do an intent to return form in, say, February of each year. That tells us how many of our students are returning. We have very little turnover with our students. And then that tells us how many applicants we can accept. And then we have an application window that opens up so that parents can apply to have their children attend our school.
Now, it sounds, when you use the word apply, especially, you know, because schools can be a very, maybe not divisive, but emotional issue. I mean, for a lot of people on different ends of the spectrum. When you use a word like they have to apply, that to many gives an impression of elitism. Is that what it is?
No.
I mean, so how does
we do not cherry pick our students, contrary to what has been said.
Get to that.
Yes, no. Basically,
how do they qualify then?
They apply. Okay, there's an application, but we have a preference zone within Lake County Schools because we do contract some of our busing services through the Lake County School District. So we do work with them. So if people reside in our preference zone, our military, there's a list of 5 different things that if a family qualifies under those, they get preference to come into our school. But anybody can apply to come into our school. And once we do that, so we have so many openings. Once we fill those openings, and it's basically first come, first serve, with the exception of if they have any of those preferences, they move to the top of the list, okay? So if we have a family from Orange County that wants to come to our school, they can apply, but the people in the preference areas would go to the top of the list. So we just move down the list and call people to come in. It's not looking at this and that and making a determination. It's basically a first come, first serve. Until we fill all of our seats, then we do a lottery system. And basically that means that whoever, again, falls in those preference zone areas would be selected first, and then we just go down the list, the next person, the next person, the next person. So we're not looking at applications, do they meet certain criteria to come to our school?
So this isn't like a college system. They're not coming in for an interview. You're
not
not
doing
looking at how
screening.
much money they make or a credit score of the parents.
There's no screening. There's no tests for entry. We're not looking at, we don't get income from none of that. So
let's talk about that cherry picking idea, right? Statistically, we know there's been a big trend in charter schools. As a principal, can you answer that? Can you tell us why you think that so many places across the nation, not just in Florida, are moving to charter school systems? I mean, they've become really popular in the last couple of years.
I think a lot of it is freedom. You have freedom in your school to make decisions specific to your school. What works in my school may not work in another school. When you look at Lake County, North Lake County is very different from South Lake County, which is very different from Orange County, very different from Seminole County. So what works in my school may not work in another school. So I think that when principals have the ability to provide curriculum needs, hire teachers that are going to fit in their particular school and get to know their students, they can make decisions that are going to fit the needs of that school. And every school isn't the same. The needs aren't the same. I have the freedom to hire. If I feel like I need to have another person on my staff to assist with reading remediation, I can hire that person. If I have the budget to do that, I can hire that person. I don't have to seek permission to do that or anything like that. It's what I feel I need for my school. So there's a lot of freedom in being a part of a charter school. Especially with us, we're an independent charter school. So we're not part of a management company. I don't answer to a management company either. We are an independent corporation that is governed again by our charter board. So we have a lot of freedom in that too. Sometimes with a management company, they operate somewhat like a district would in a regular school district. We don't have that as an independent charter school. So that makes us even more different from the current charter schools out there too. So it sets us apart as well. Then we're a conversion charter school, which means we were a Lake County school that converted in a Lake County building. So what that means is the Lake County school system owns the building that we're in, the current elementary building, not the 7th and 8th grade building that we paid for. They own that building and we are utilizing that building. We don't pay rent or anything like that. So we're unique in the charter school world too. We're independent and we're a conversion charter school.
Do you know, I know that, again, across the nation, from the research I've done, a lot of times there's friction and resistance between the public school system and the charter schools individually or as a group. It doesn't sound like you're running into any of that kind of resistance from the Lake County school system. Would that be correct?
They're our sponsor, and honestly, there isn't much conflict. I mean, sometimes there's a difference of philosophy, right? There have been statements made that we cherry pick. But as far as working with the people with the Lake County School District, the superintendent, Bill Mathias is our school board member in our area. We have not had friction, disagreements at times, but we do have quarterly meetings with the superintendent and her key personnel to meet with them to talk about those things. And I think that's made a huge difference in creating a positive relationship between the two.
Well, there's disagreements in any organization.
Of course.
But you read stories that are coming out of other places, and you're like, man, how is charter schools? No wonder people want to go to charter schools.
Right.
Let me see. We talked about, you actually just referred to some of the myths. I'd like to get some of the facts from you. Charter schools do better statistically. Okay, and I know that there are the outlier stories of a charter school that opened and failed in 4 years, but it seems as a whole, charter schools are putting out, I don't want to say better students, but the education seems to be better in charter schools statistically. Their students test higher. And there are all sorts of theories for that. One, that you're cherry picking, that it's only that they're magnets for rich people, or that they're only placed in communities that have a higher economic ability, or what was the other one? There was money, the parents, because they have more money, get to be more involved, and you require involvement.
We do not at our school.
And I know that there's a charter school in Lake County that, if your kid goes there, you have to do a certain number of hours every month, and that's oppressive to some. So what are the facts? Okay, I know you can speak mostly to yours, but what are the facts? Is I'm sure a lot of times when I get things like this, again, it's perception versus reality. What's the reality?
Now school choice is available to every parent, which I think was a positive move. So now parents can seek out the school that they want to go to. So I think we'll see the playing field level in that regard, because parents, if they want their child to go to East Ridge Middle School, for example, and they're zoned for another middle school, they can work to make that happen. I think school choice is powerful for parents. We have, again, I think it goes back to the freedom to get out from bureaucracy. We don't have some of the same mandates that are required of a school district, and I don't know that that's fair or unfair. I think whenever parents are able to choose the school that they want their child to go to, you're going to see a climb in performance across the board. So the facts, I think, for us as parents, should be free to pick the school that they want their child to attend that's going to fit the needs. We do not require parents to volunteer as a part of our school program. I've had people ask if we could possibly do that. I have a different feeling about that. I feel like parents will volunteer when they can or give when they can, but I think they're busy too, and our job is to educate their children and do what we can. We most certainly want parents involved. I think it really just boils down to individual choice for families and what different schools are going to offer. In a traditional school, they may find certain things. For example, they have more sports. We're adding 7th and 8th grade. Other middle schools have more sports opportunities than we may be able to offer. And so parents may choose to go to a different school for that. So I really think the playing field will start being leveled because school choice has been implemented across all public schools. And I think it's just really about freedom for us. In my school, I think our success has been just making sure I'm hiring the right teachers. I have an amazing team. I hire specifically for the culture and climate of our school. I give my teachers a lot of voice in how they want to teach. I don't believe that teachers can teach on the same page the same day and at any time and think that that's going to be successful, because every class is different. And I have teacher senators that help me make decisions in regards to running the school. So I have Senate meetings with teacher leaders that their faculty, their peers voted them to be the teacher leaders. So I think it's empowering the teacher that's made the difference, not so much the fact that we're a charter school, other than we do have a lot of freedoms to do things differently. I hope that answered your question.
That did answer my question. A lot of what I saw when I was there was the interaction between the teachers and the parents. The parents were big fans of the school. And to the degree where a lot of them were like, they can't wait till their next child is there, and that's not always the case. Since I met you at the opening of tell us a little bit about that. Because one of the things I thought that was very neat was the model you used to fund it. You didn't have a bond issue or take all this money. Nobody's going to raise taxes because you expanded the school. Tell us about the expansion and how you funded that.
We reached out for sponsors. We ran an Adopt a Classroom initiative. We did that with the renovation of our 6th grade buildings and then with the building of this new 7th and 8th grade building. So I put out that it costs about $5,000 to furnish a classroom with the basics. Asked parents to donate whatever they could. So we had a huge Adopt a Classroom push. Reached out to business sponsors to seek support in regards to that. And then we paid for it out of every charter school is required to have a reserve monies. Because we are a large school, we've been able to build a reserve. And because I work with a CPA to really watch our finances and with the oversight of our charter board, we've really been kind of frugal in the things that we've done, although spending money where we need to. And so we work with Schmid Construction, who has been fantastic to work with. And of course, the Lake County School Board also was a part of this process because we actually expanded on their property. So we paid for it out of our reserve dollars. And so we did not finance it in any way, shape, or form. So it was totally fundraising, sponsorship initiatives, and then out of our own reserve monies.
No debt.
No debt.
That was one of the things that really impressed me.
No debt.
Look, we just have a couple of minutes. I would like you to tell the folks, and you'll be telling them right here, tell the folks how they can get in touch with you if they have questions, if they'd like to apply, particularly if they're in this area, but two, if they want to take part, if they're business leaders and they'd like to become part of this community and help support it, how they can do that. You just let them know.
All right.
Okay.
Mineola Charter School, we're at 320 East Pearl Street. You most certainly can follow us on Facebook at Mineola Charter School. We're also on Twitter at Mineola Charter. You can contact us at 352-394-2600. You can certainly email me, and you can find my email information on our Facebook page. We also have a sponsorship page on our webpage as well, and you can also contact Laura Toller, who is our business development liaison, and she'll be happy to help you with any sponsorship questions that you have. So that's how you get a hold of us.
That's great. Well, that's our time for today. I want to say thank you, Sherry.
Thank you.
You have really helped us field this out. You are actually our first community guest.
Oh, very nice.
And,
I'm
I
honored.
really, I want to have a whole lineup eventually
Yes.
of teachers and elected officials.
That would be
and,
wonderful.
And, community leaders and pastors and that sort of thing. And so thank you for really opening the door and getting us
Yes.
started, getting
Thank
us
you for
in the
doing this.
pool,
Yes, thank you for doing this as well.
Once again, I'd like to thank the sponsors. I'd like to thank Erica's Tea Room. I'd like to thank local pro wrestling. And once again, can you believe I believe in Mary as much as Mary believed in me? The mortgage firm can help you. Please, please, please. If you're thinking about a mortgage, reach out to Mary. And then reach out to me to help you find a house. So, all right. If you know any good guests, anybody that would fit into us, that would like to be on Joe Knows South Lake, please, if you'd like to be on Joe Knows South Lake, you can reach me at onejoeknows@gmail.com. If you or someone you know would like to advertise, we have some great advertising and sponsorship opportunities right here on the show. Give your business or your organization a lot of exposure. Once again, you can reach out to me at onejoeknows@gmail.com. And well, now Joe knows South Lake, and now you know South Lake. And what you know is Sherry Watson, Mineola Charter School. I just want to remind you today that there is greatness inside you. Dare to let that greatness out. I am Joe Carlisle. This has been Joe Knows South Lake, and I love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake.